Earlier today, Dr. Jeff Iorg was unanimously elected to be the 8th president and CEO of the Southern Baptist Convention's Executive Committee. This is a big step because there has been a search underway for several years now, over 2 years, 2.5 years. And so we're glad to see that individual has been brought and nominated and unanimously elected. Now, let's just stop and pause for a second about this unanimous thing. The old saying is, if you get a couple of Baptists in the same room, 2 or 3 Baptists in the same room, you're going to have 5 or 6 opinions. And it's kind of infrequent to have unanimous decisions in calling sometimes. So this is an outstanding thing that our trustee board unanimously were behind Dr. Iorg. He has a long reputation, a great reputation behind him. But one thing that most are probably unaware of and are not really familiar with, this has never happened before in the course of the Southern Baptist Convention, and that is we have never had an executive committee leader who is actually a World Series ring holder. That's exactly right. The ring that's photographed right there. I took a picture of that from Dr. Iorg when he was speaking at an event that I was hosting some time back. And he shared with us he was the chaplain for this World Series team, the San Francisco World Series baseball team, when they won that. What a tremendous thing. So I'm pretty sure that's kind of a cut above most all of the other executive leaders that we've had in this role before. But anyway, I thought that was funny. Now, I wanted to look real quickly, just a couple of congratulatory notes that have been put up. One is from Dennis Swanberg. Dennis Swanberg obviously is the comedian. Many of you probably already know him, but Dennis knows about the baseball connection with Dr. Iorg. He says, "I love him. He will do well. He was also a great baseball umpire, and that will come in handy." I'm not sure what he's implying at that point, but he's right. He was an umpire as well, but he was a chaplain on the World Series team at that time when they won the World Series in 2010. And then Ira Hall, he writes, "Well, there goes that. I didn't even have Dr. Jeff Iorg on my March Madness bracket." So there's that at that point as well. Other congratulatory notes. Barry McCarty tweets, "Congratulations to Dr. Iorg." Of course, Barry McCarty is the longtime parliamentarian for the Southern Baptist Convention. Triler, Pastor Ted Triler from Florida, he says, "I support his selection 99.9%. His commitment to West Coast is my only reservation." So I guess that one reservation is what the 0.1% hesitation is at that point. Craig Carlile says, "Congratulations on the unanimous elected president and CEO. What a privilege to represent Alabama and cast my ballot for Dr. Iorg. Very excited about the days ahead." Then Rick Lance, who is the executive director for Alabama Baptist, says, "Congratulations to my friend and colleague in Great Commission Ministries on his unanimous election as president and CEO of the SBC Executive Committee. Please join me in praying for him." And one of the things that he makes note of, he writes a column, a blog post, and it's entitled "A Difference Maker." And I want to just simply join with Dr. Lance in saying I think that Jeff is a difference maker without any doubt. He has the background, he has the experience. He led the seminary through some significant changes over time, and all of those things are very significant. So I think this is a good choice as a difference maker. Now, we could go into a lot of detail and spend a lot of time talking about all of the challenges he has, all of the things that are coming up. We've dealt with some of those things before, but we're not going to try to do that now. That's a whole nother video. But let me give you just a little bit of background on who Dr. Iorg is so you have an idea. He's now come to be elected after a 2.5-year search in trying to recruit and call the next chief executive officer. Dr. Iorg follows Ronnie Floyd and several failed attempts to call other individuals. Dr. Iorg has been president of Gateway Seminary since 2004. Under his leadership, the seminary relocated to Mill Valley, California, from Mill Valley, California to Ontario, California, and underwent a name change from Golden Gate Seminary to Gateway. This is one of our SBC seminaries. Prior to becoming seminary president, he served as the vice president for Christian Resources at the North American Mission Board. He authored several books, including The Case for Antioch, a biblical model for the transformational church, and Is God Calling Me? Answering the question every believer asks. I'll make sure and drop the link to both of those books down into the video description here in just a minute, so you'll have that if you would like to look at those books. He's also an advocate for revitalizing existing churches and planting new churches, especially in the urban areas. His vision has guided Gateway to focus on those priorities as well. He has an earned MDiv degree from Midwestern Baptist Theological Seminary and a PhD degree from Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary. Under his presidency, Gateway launched new campuses and teaching sites across the Western United States to expand its theological education. He has served as a pastor in churches in Missouri and California earlier in his ministry. He frequently speaks at churches and conferences in various places, different kinds of events. I know when I was executive director for a foundation here in the Atlanta metro area, he came and spoke to our group one evening for a fundraising event. So he's done all kinds of different kinds of speaking events as well. He often speaks on leadership, church planting, and church revitalization, as well as theological education. I think we should be very grateful that he is going to be the new executive director, executive leader. Here is the contact information. If you would like to send a note to him or say congratulations, reach out to him in some way, here's the contact information. You can do that and make sure to reach out to him and let him know that you appreciate his leadership and would appreciate his or he would appreciate your support in the coming days as well. So, well, that wraps it up for this update. Just wanted to get you up to date on exactly who this is, and just let you know that this is a good step for Southern Baptist in the days ahead. Stay tuned. We'll keep you updated in the future.